You're welcome. So we want to solve this nice exponential equation given 25 divided by s squared equals s squared divided by 25. So I know a lot of people will be confused, like, okay, this will cancel out this and this will cancel out this. So and by default, you don't have any solution. So you don't even have any equation to solve. So however, so let's look at the step by step on how to solve this particular equation to obtain our required variable, which is x. Let's solution. So the first thing that will cross our mind is to cross multiply, right? So let's do that. But before we do that, let's express 25 as the power of 5. So we have 5 raised to the power 2, right? Divided by x squared equals, for this also we'll have s squared divided by 5 squared. So from here, it is easy for us to cross multiply now. So we'll have this goes to this and this and this. All right, so we'll have 5 squared multiplied by 5 squared equals s squared multiplied by s squared. So then what we'll have now is we have 5 squared, then we can have it to be square again. So we have 5 squared in two places. For this also we'll have s squared in two places. All right, so and if you observe, we can actually transfer this to the other side to make the expression to be difference of 2 squared, right? So we'll have 5 squared, right, minus s squared square equals 0. So if you look at the expression we have here, you will see that we have difference of 2 squared now. So and if you recall that if you have an expression of a square minus b square, for this expression this is equals to a plus b multiplied by a minus b. All right, so now applying this, let's compare this with this. So we'll have our a, let this stand for our a, so 5 squared will stand for our a, and our b will be equivalent to what? X squared. So then we can now substitute this, or let's say we try to apply this to this, and let's see what we will have. So the resulting expression we have is 5 squared raised to the power 2 minus s squared raised to the power 2. And for this expression, so applying this here, we are going to have 5 squared plus x squared, right? So then 5 squared minus s squared. So we have it like this, and when we have it like this, we have two solutions. We have this, everything here equals 0. So what we have is this equals 0 and this equals 0. So we will have 5 squared plus s squared equals 0, or we will have 5 squared minus x squared equals 0. So all right, so let's first solve this by, this is sum of 2 squares, right? So for sum of 2 squares, if you have the expression of a squared plus b squared, what we are going to have for this particular expression is equals to a plus b multiplied by a minus b. All right, we first want to deal with this, and by this what we are going to have is, remember this is what we have, so we can also express this as x squared plus 5 squared equals 0. All right, so the expression we have for this will be in complex form, so that we have x plus 5i, right? So then x minus 5i, so which is similar to this particular expression. Let's equal everything to be equals 0. Okay, so then our next step is to just equate each of these to 0. So the first one, we have x plus 5i equals 0, and what? and x minus 5i equals 0. All right, so if we transfer this to the other side, we have our x to be equals minus 5i, or x equals, transfer this to the other side too, we have 5i. So we have this for solution, and we have this to be the second solution. Now we have another expression that we need to solve, which is this. So let's solve 5 squared minus also 5 squared minus s squared. So we want to solve for this expression too. Remember, this is difference of 2 square, and for the expression of difference of 2 square, let's say a square minus b square. This is equals a plus b multiplied by a minus b. Applying this here, we are going to have 5 plus x, right, and 5 minus x equals 0. So applying the same thing we did to the first expression, equate this to 0 and equate this to 0. For this now, what we have is x equals minus 5, or then here we have x equals 5. All right, so remember now we have, let's say our x1, the earlier x's you will get before is minus 5i, right? So then for x2 we got before is 5i. So then let's name this our x3, which is minus 5, and our x4 is equals to 5. All right, so we have 4 solutions, 2 real solutions and 2 complex solutions. So these are our real solutions, and this our complex solutions. So all right, so however, so we can actually verify this to check if our answer is right. Verify. So I'll just check. We have 25 divided by s squared equals s squared divided by 25. So I'll be doing this. Let's say we just want to use something here. So let's use, get the test for one real number, then one complex number. Let me use 5 for this. So we have 25 divided by 5 square equals 5 square divided by 25. So when we do this, we are going to have 25 divided by 5 square will give us 25 equals 5 square will give us 25 divided by 25, which means that this 1 equals 1. So this is valid, right? So but however, let me also check for the other roots when x equals minus 5. When x equals minus 5, so we are going to have 25 divided by minus 5 square equals minus 5 square divided by 25. And we are going to have 25 divided by minus 5 square will give us 25, right? So we have this to be 25 divided by 25, and we are going to have 1 equals 1. So that means that for our real solutions, so they are real. So let's have a check for our complex root 2. Don't forget we got our complex root minus 5i, right? So and 5i. So let's first go with 5i. So if x equals 5i, so what we are going to have is we have 25 divided by 5i square equals 5i square divided by 25. We want to see if this is equals, right? So here we have 25, we have 5 square, then I square. Is this equals to 5 square, then I square divided by 25? So what we will have now is, we have 25 divided by 25, and there is square root of I square is minus 1. Is this equals to 25 minus 1 divided by 25? Right, so here we have 25 divided by minus 25. Is this equals to minus 25 divided by 25? And you observe that we have minus 1 is equals to minus 1. So that means that this is also valid. For the other solution, so which is x equals minus 5i. I hope you can hear me solve this. I hope you can hear me verify this. Thank you. See you in my next video. Bye.